Chapter 21 On the Road 3. After a couple of adventurous days, a letdown always follows. I wasn't awakened by dingoes or cleaning crews. However, the birds were so excited that morning it was their fault sleep eluded me. So I got up, bought some breakfast, and started doing laundry. The day crawled past at snail's pace, as days do when they are ordinary. We did make it to Rainbow Beach as the day was just coming to an end. We sat at Inskip Point tending to our diaries for a while, but the mosquitoes ate us alive. It started raining, so we all moved into Malcolm, glued a flashlight to a ceiling, and continued our writings. The weather turned so miserable that we never left the car again that night, and it was still raining the next morning. Inskip Point is a small peninsula. At its tip one could spit over to Fraser Island. Left, right, and in front of us was beach and sea, a stunning place had it not rained so much. We spent our day mostly in the car, writing postcards and watching a gang of turkeys playing with our dishwashing sponge. The ranger found us and gave us a fine for not paying a camping permit. So we bought one for the previous night and that night. We felt miserable. Fines, mosquito bites, not a dry bone. None of our tents, nor Malcolm the Falcon, was very waterproof, and we were damp and uncomfortable. Our Australian camping neighbor came to our rescue, offering shelter and sausages from his campfire. Needless to say, our day improved from then on. He offered us his tent too, however, we did go to sleep in our own tents. Anything else would have been weird. I slept in Malcolm, hoping for a slightly drier night. Meg joined me in the early morning hours because her tent had flooded, and so we watched the droplets on Malcolm's ceiling falling onto our sleeping bags together and praying for daylight to come quickly. Sandra slept like a stone, as always, completely oblivious to the puddles forming in her tent. Finally, daylight came and a break in the never-ending rain. Only some drizzles were present when we started our morning hygiene rituals. As I put my shirt back on, I saw that a giant black beetle had made its way into it, thinking this must be a good place to nest. Screaming, I ripped the shirt off my body again, to the amusement of all surrounding campers. The three of us were glad to have a full day of driving ahead of us. We were too damp and miserable for anything more fun. Everything, just everything we owned was soaked. We soon cheered up when Meg led us singing rounds. Old German folk songs have a way of lifting the spirit, whether one found them ridiculous or not. We were back in Byron Bay, and it rained still. I'd had enough of sleeping in the wet, so I bought myself a tent for $59. It was waterproof and glorious. At the campsite, however, I realized it had no poles, so it was completely useless. You cannot set up a tent without poles. I raced back to the store, but it was shut for the day, so another wet night lay ahead. A complete weirdo camped next to us. He tried to explain to us that we must park the car 2 yards to the left. We had flattened the grass and that was unacceptable. Baffled by this and too tired for an argument after my tent debacle, I did just as he wished. Once I had moved Malcolm, the weirdo went to work, picking up each blade of grass that was flattened and standing it back up again. He was so happy about it that he presented us with half a loaf of bread. We ate it like wolves. It goes to show that what is insane to one is imperative to another. And who am I to judge?